The Atlanta Hawks are big winners in the 2025 NBA draft. And in this video, I'm going to break it down, but also tell you what went on yesterday that allowed them to be so lucky going forward in the future. Now, if you don't know, last night it was the NBA draft lottery. Basically the event that shows teams where they're going to be drafting in the NBA draft. To a big surprise and sheer luck, the Dallas Mavericks secured the #1 overall pick, which gives them the right to select Cooper Flagg. A lot of the media is talking about that, but not really much of the media is talking about the Atlanta Hawks and their ability to secure 2 first-round picks. And these picks weren't their own pick. They secured 2 additional first-round picks outside of the pick that they were supposed to have, but they ended up trading that. So in this video, I'm going to break this down, but really quick, I will say this. The Atlanta Hawks last night got the most favorable option or outcome that they could possibly get this year. The Atlanta Hawks forfeited their right for their first overall pick, which ended up turning to be the 14th overall pick, which went to the San Antonio Spurs with the DeJounte Murray trade some years ago. Because of that trade, the Atlanta Hawks pick this year is to the Spurs, which ended up turning out to be a whole lot worse than a lot of people predicted. Some people were saying that could be a top 4 or 5 pick. It ended up being 14, so great. Another outcome is that the Atlanta Hawks had the option to get 2 additional picks, one from the Los Angeles Lakers, which was pretty much locked in at the 22nd overall pick. I will say something really quickly about that. That could have been worse. The Lakers were tied with several other teams, and they did a coin flip, and the Atlanta Hawks basically got the best of those options. I think it could have been a 22nd, 23rd, or 24th pick, and they ended up getting the 22nd pick. But more importantly, it came down yesterday to the Sacramento pick that the Atlanta Hawks acquired. Now, in other circumstances, there was about a 4% chance that that pick would be foregone to the next season, which would be a top 10 pick. There was also about a 4% chance that the Atlanta Hawks would get the 14th overall pick, and then a 92% chance that they'll get the 13th overall pick. We can say 92% chance was very high, but we've seen some crazy things, such as the Dallas Mavericks getting the first overall pick with less than a 2% chance. So the Atlanta Hawks were able to get the 13th overall pick, which was expected, but you never know, which is great. And also the 22nd overall pick, which is the best possible scenario for the Atlanta Hawks this year. They couldn't have gotten any better. So the fact of the matter is that they got that with the seeding and with everything coming out. That is a win-win-win. Now, how can this help the Atlanta Hawks? #1, it could allow them to get 2 really, really good players within this draft. This draft has been deemed as a deep NBA draft with a lot of players from top to bottom being really, really, really good. You got your Cooper Flaggs, and you got your Ron Harper. I don't want to say that. But you got a lot of players in this draft. And Atlanta Hawks could find a diamond in the rough at 13, but also at 22 to help them win. 2, you get 2 picks, so you double your chances of getting a good player that could impact the roster. You also can get more depth if you decide to go a different direction with guys on the roster. 3, you can use 2 picks to either move up and select a player that you really, really like. This year, like I said, there was a lot of good players this year outside of Cooper Flagg. And if you feel convicted that the Atlanta Hawks need a player, they could pair these 2 picks together and move up. And I think they'll be able to get up all the way up to maybe 6 or 7 in this year's draft. And then lastly, if they want to go out and get a superstar, they have 2 picks this year, something that a lot of teams don't really have. Other than the Spurs, the Atlanta Hawks have 2 picks, 2 top-end picks, first-round picks this year that could be enticing for a trade for a superstar player. I'm not saying Giannis is probably going to happen, but maybe, or even Kevin Durant, if that's possible. So the Atlanta Hawks won the draft. Other than the Dallas Mavericks, everyone's going to talk about the Atlanta Hawks got extremely favorable outcomes for them, and they were able to secure 2 picks in a draft where they lost their own pick, which is insane. But if you agree or disagree, leave a comment down below. Let me know how you feel about the draft lottery. Do you think it was rigged for the Mavericks? And also, let me know who you think or who you want to see the Atlanta Hawks draft. There's a lot of options out there, and please stay tuned for further videos because we're going to be breaking those down. But like always, peace.